Hey guys, it's Delora Dabbles, and today I thought that I would go ahead and film that video. Someone commented about a few weeks ago and asked me all the different ways to use tarot other than divination. And so I've been getting so many Kickstarter unboxings and pre-orders and things like that. I've been doing tarot reviews that I've really neglected to do that video. So here you go, guys. Hopefully all the rest of you get something out of this as well. So I want to talk about all the different ways to use a tarot deck other than divination. Some of these are going to sound a bit like divination, but we're not asking what's going to happen next week, right? Technically, that's divination. We're not asking what's happening with someone else. That's divination, right? Sometimes you can pull cards and it feels a lot like divination, but you're asking what's going on inside of you, right? So again, you know, if you guys watched my video on my favorite tarot books, Josephine McCarthy has tarot for the 21st century, and she talks about it's very important to think about who you're asking your questions to while you're shuffling. Are you asking God, the gods, the universe, whatever? You can also ask your subconscious mind, right? So you can devote an entire tarot deck just to your subconscious mind. I haven't devoted a tarot deck just to that, but some cool decks would be something that has like really interesting and trippy artwork, something that's going to speak to your subconscious mind a little bit better. And honestly, I really like to use Deviant Moon for that, but I've given you guys so much Deviant Moon lately that I figured, this is another one of my, trippier kind of decks. You know what I mean? It's definitely got some interesting things going on. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, but it has a very interesting artwork, and her line work, her dots. I like busy artwork. Whenever I'm going for subconscious mind, I like something busy, right? Because it's like, look at all the tadpoles and the little vines and everything. Like, it gives your subconscious mind something to work with, right? So you could ask your subconscious mind, why are we anxious right now? Like, my brain is so tired of trying to figure out why you are fucking up. Why are you fucking up right now? And you can shuffle your deck and you can pull out a card and be like, that's right. Or you can be like, what is wrong with you? And then you can build an affirmation around that, right? So if you pull the 10 of coins, right, because things are actually going pretty well for you in your life, right? And you don't know why you're so stressed. And then you have the 10 of coins and you're like, oh, I give myself permission to be successful. I give myself permission to have a lot of money in my savings account. I give myself permission to not feel the need to treat yourself out of all of your savings, right? It could be something like that. So you really have to think outside of the box whenever you're doing tarot for literally anything else or anything, even divination. You have to think outside the box sometimes. I also like to use my tarot decks as an art gallery. Okay. So I have so many different tarot decks and so many different oracle decks, and I love the artwork on a lot of them. I'm like, whoa, I love this artwork. So I have this card stand that I got from the James R. Eads unboxings and whatnot. And it's just got a little slit in it. You can also find these kinds of things on Amazon if you like this style, right? And just put this on my desk. Just put it on my desk, right? And it says abundance, right? And just keep it in my line of sight throughout the day. Now, if you don't have something like that, or that's not your style, I also have these. And look how pretty. Oh, I might have to close it a little bit slightly to get the card to fit. There we go. All right, and you can hold it up like a little book. These also really work well for oracle cards that might be more landscape instead of portrait, all right? I also have a dry erase board that is magnetic. I made sure that I got a magnetic one, and I have spreads and cards and all kinds of things up on there. I have affirmations. So I mean, like, my whiteboard is kind of like a vision board that's constantly changing, right? I'm not gluing anything down to keep permanent. And yeah, vision boards are fun, but I like the freedom of being able to like move that magnet and put that card back in a box, or to actually use tarot cards on a vision board and not lose them forever by gluing them down, right? anyway, are getting glitter or whatever on them. That I see a lot of people do some fun things with vision boards, but I like my magnetic dry erase board because I can write and draw on it, and I can stick my cards on there magnet wise. I also like to use these for creative writing prompts. For those of you who may have forgotten, I have a bachelor's in creative writing with a minor in anthropology. And sometimes you just want to do a very short story. You've got all the characters, right? Or you have all the pieces except for one thing. Maybe you have all the characters and the setting, but you don't have a plot or whatever. Creative writing prompt. Pull a few cards. I'm just going to pull a few off the top here. We have the Two of Discs, the King of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So our character is trying to juggle their life, trying to figure things out. A lot of things are up in the air, pun intended, for them, and they're just kind of like a little bit lost. But they're a diplomat. Maybe they are literally a diplomat, or maybe they are everybody's go-to, right? And because of that, they end up having to pick up a lot of the pieces after conflict, and that really wears them down. And that is the friction in the story, right? They're always picking up the pieces of everyone else's mistakes. They're literally there, like, picking up the dead bodies of people that they wish that they could have helped. Who knows? Creative writing prompts. Get jiggy with it. Making decisions. This could be seen as divination, right? But let's say you're doing a cost-benefit analysis and you're still stuck, right? You've written out all of the pros of quitting this job and doing your own thing and all of the cons, and you still are having difficulty making a decision. Pull tarot cards or oracle cards or whatever. Pull cards about it. For mental health. Okay. For mental health, again, I like to pull abstract stuff. I'm going down my list. But I also remember that I did not quite show you guys this. This is the Poesis Oracle. Where's the... Haha. This has the website on the back. Poesis-oracle.com. And I love it. I love it. I don't use this deck for any kind of divination. I use this deck purely to speak with my subconscious mind. Right? And again, you're going to ask your subconscious mind, what's going on with me today? Right? And this is also one of those super abstract art decks where it's like your subconscious mind wants to come out and talk to you. When you use something that is a little bit less obvious and something that is I get very, very good conversations with my subconscious mind and with my not so subconscious mind, my very conscious mind. Right? Sometimes our conscious minds can also be an enigma. It's just a great deck for that. Card games. There's nothing more fun than actually playing with your tarot cards and actually playing games. I would love to find someone to play with, but if you look at my unboxing of the Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot, they came out with like a board game card game that's kind of like Stratego, kind of not, and it seems like it's really fun, and I haven't gotten anyone to play with me yet, so yeah, try to find some card games to play. Meditations, so visual meditations. I specifically pulled this deck out of here because I have a very brief story time for you guys on this and what my method is of doing this. So let me find it. The Gnosis card. This was the first meditation I ever did where something came out of nowhere and visited me. Okay, I did a story time about this in one of my very first videos. I think it was during Ethany's 30 Days of Tarot Challenge or whatever at the beginning of the year. But what I like to do whenever I do guided meditations with a card, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I did with this one. I try to follow the lines of energy in the artwork, right? And with Kim Kranz, that's super easy, right? So I followed the bird all the way, like with my eyes, I tracked the bird. Like I literally went like all the way around the card like that. Make your eyeballs a little bit tired, but not strained. Don't strain your eyes, right? Just follow the lines. And then I did these, right? And I'm pointing to where I was tracking my eyes. And I did this for a bit, right? Right. And then I shut my eyes. After my eyes were good and tired, but not strained. Not strained. Okay, I'm going to stop saying that now because I think you guys get the point. And I closed my eyes. I was in a forest with the aurora borealis above me. And a bird just flew out of a tree. And that's whenever I became aware of a presence of someone behind me. And I never turned around, but it was almost like I could see them over my shoulder. It's almost like my point of view went from being from my eyeballs to being right here because I could see my shoulder and my hair. I could see this shadow back behind me. At the same time that I'm in the forest seeing this silhouette behind me, I am also seeing that in my mundane world, they are peeking at me from my bedroom doorway because I was in the living room. So it's like I was seeing both places at the same time. I was seeing what was happening in the physical at the same time that I was seeing what was happening in my mind. Sure, witchy woo-woo, I could have gone to the astral and not known it. Who knows? But I got scared. Obviously, I'm starting to get anxious. I'm getting anxious, but I'm telling myself, stop getting anxious. It's okay. It's okay. This is fine. It's okay. And my body kept ramping up and I would try to, squelch it down and my body would keep ramping up and then I would try to squelch it down. And this entity said, that is what's holding you back, right? So of course I was like, oh, it's my fear that's holding me back. My fear is what's holding me back. I need to get a handle on my anxiety, all of that. Now that it's been some years and years now I'm wondering, I'm like, was the entity talking about me overthinking, me constantly trying to control everything? And so it's just, I have been getting so much from that experience, even years and years later, interpreting and reinterpreting all these things. That's why whenever you have your guided meditation experiences, you need to write them down. You need to write them down and revisit them so that you don't forget the details. But that is how I do it. And let's say you're doing a guided meditation on something that is not a Kim Krans deck, right? Let's look at a tarot deck, for instance. All right, so what would be the lines of energy that you would track here, right? Well, the hair flowing up and down, the hair flowing with the water flowing. Oh, and the hair kind of goes up into the tree. Now let's just do a maze with all these branches. Let's just follow all these branches. Ooh, these swords. Let's track that. Oh, but the swords are also hitting that sword. So maybe they actually make a line of energy that makes an L, right? It's deflecting, right? And just tire your eyes out. Don't strain your eyes. And then close your eyes. Come what may. Close your eyes and come what may, guys. Don't overthink it. Affirmations. So whoever said, right, because I mentioned the art gallery, whoever said you always had to shuffle and let the universe decide what card you have. All right, let's say you're doing an affirmation, right? And let's say that my affirmation is that I want to be a better listener. I am one of those super anxious people. I cut people off. I get very ADHD in social situations. And let's just say that I'm really notorious for cutting other people off. I'm not. I'm actually a good listener. But for the purposes of this. So my affirmation for today is that I want to listen better. So I pick out this card consciously and I put it on my affirmation tray. Right? Things like that. You could put the 10 of coins if you want to be more successful. You could put the 8 of coins if you want to be like, I'm going to work really hard today. 8 of coins, right? Or you could be like, you know what? I need to not obsess over my romantic relationship that's bothering me and giving me stress today. So I'm going to pick up the 10 of cups because I want to focus on my family more, right? My family and friends more as opposed to my romantic partner more. Journaling, this is a big one. Sometimes when you're journaling, you get so numb because like whenever you're journaling, you're being self-aware, you're practicing self-awareness. So you're like, oh my God, how do I even feel about that? Right? So there's 2 ways of doing this. Pick out cards that represent your anxiety or cards that give you anxiety, right? Review those and find yourself in those. Or do it divination style, right? Now, things that I like to do for journaling is I combine divination with my journaling. So, for instance, yesterday I was journaling and I asked, yes, it was about my self-esteem. What can I do to rebuild my self-esteem, right? And I got the 6 of Wands, which is achievements. I've actually achieved a lot in my life, but I've never really let myself celebrate. All right, I didn't walk for my high school graduation. It was too much effort. I walked for my community college graduation because I had a professor that would not let me not. But then for college, I didn't walk for my bachelor's. I was like, why would I want to go through all that trouble, all that social anxiety, all of that weirdness, pay all that money, sit there for hours. It's not special if like literally 1,000 other people are getting it that day. But I also never did anything private at home. I never threw a party. I never celebrated. So it's like, okay, I need to celebrate myself and my achievements. And it's wild how accurate your tarot decks can be when you're doing something that is journaling. Again, just make sure that you ask yourself and you tell your cards, I am asking myself these questions. I want myself to answer these questions. And then, of course, for all of you naysayers that don't believe that tarot is really accurate, you can't say that it's not accurate. If you're saying that the tarot is all in my head and I'm just a really good lucky guesser, well, guess what? If I'm doing tarot for introspection, then it really is all in my head, and you can't tell me that that doesn't work. Because by your own admissions of not believing that tarot works and that it's all inside my head, well, then it's all inside my head, and I can understand my head by using the tarot. How about that? How about that, guys? So I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I am at 17 minutes. Oh, I did not mean to make it go that high. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this and that this has helped y'all on your journey. It's a little bit more overcast than when I first started, so the lighting is off. I apologize. Natural lighting, what can you do? But if you enjoyed this, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you use tarot in a way that is not divination that I didn't mention here, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know how you use tarot for things other than divination. And until next time, happy shoveling, happy dabbling, and bye-bye.